cię. Jestem sama, lecz wciąż do snu szepcę kocham cię. Kocham cię. I co z tego, że nie żyjesz? Przysięgałeś przecież, że nie zostawisz mnie. Nie zostawisz mnie.
Broadcasting live from the Podcast Detroit studios in Royal Oak. For more information about the show or our network, please visit www.podcastdetroit.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it's the Undercard. The Undercard brings you the best in hand combat sports.
Jimmy, do you know how to turn down my headphones?
What?
Do you know how to turn down my headphones?
Hottest ring girls from around the nation. The Undercard is sponsored by Falling Down Beer Company.
So loud.
Podcast Detroit Studios, and it's produced by Rochelle Whitney. And now, here are your hosts, Brad, Cody, and Jimmy.
Welcome officially to episode 271, but more importantly than that, Jimmy, we are at our 5-year anniversary.
Yeah.
That is
Sorry, I'm moving the camera because
I'm short.
well, no, What I had was not going to work.
Okay.
So I'm
No
still
worries.
figuring out. There we go. That's better. Okay.
So we're going to talk about celebrating our 5-year anniversary, probably in like the 20-minute mark. But we got a great show lined up for you. First off, coming in studio, we have Anthony Barnes, who's fighting a week from Friday. He's fighting down at Soundboard Casino. He's coming in, and of course, Anthony. I mean, it's fitting that he comes in. He's been on the show enough over 5 years, and he's a good friend of the show.
Right.
Our co-host Cody will be joining us in a little bit. Cody Stamann, of course. But very excited about Eric Deleon coming off of, I would say, a disappointing draw in the fact that I thought he won the fight. I went back and watched the fight again, thought he won the fight. But ranked 4th in the United States. Not only that, from Detroit proud, and we're happy to have Eric Deleon coming on the show. He's going to be on the show at the 8:30 mark. At the 7:45 mark, we're going to have Josh from our friends from Top Rope Review. It's Wrestlemania week.
Yeah.
Okay? So we got to give us a little wrestling breakdown,
Right,
and then after
right.
that we'll snooze on wrestling for a summer. But we will talk Wrestlemania. But leave it to Saul Canelo Alvarez to give our 5-year anniversary show a good start. And the fact that he officially...
How's that a good start?
Huh?
How is that a good start?
I'm just saying he gave
Good
us some
topics.
newsworthy...
It's
Right,
not a
yeah,
good start,
exactly.
it's terrible.
It's a top...
Scandal.
I have kept my mouth shut for
Scandal.
long enough on this.
Scandalous.
Yeah, Canelo now has officially pulled out of the fight. Gonna give a brief take on it, but let's go back a couple weeks.
All right, let's go back a couple weeks.
MGM Grand was going to offer refunds. The hearing was coming up. Canelo was not even going to be at the hearing. And this thing looked like it was probably on life support anyways. And I think, this is total speculation, not one source here, but I think that this fight wasn't going to happen anyways. Now, whether it's a smart decision by Canelo to pull out and not just have them cancel it, I don't know. But, you know, if there is some respectability in the fact that he has pulled out, I would say that it's maybe saving people from buying ticket fares, planning on coming for a fight that maybe he knows isn't going to happen.
Well, and my whole take on it was this: with the speculation about what happened and whether or not he was actually enhancing himself and all that kind of stuff like that. Like, if they had gone through with the fight, even if he was, absolved of all charges, right now, because it's so close to the fight, if he lost, it would be tainted. If he won, it would be tainted. So I think it's actually a very smart move that Canelo said, okay, you know what? I'm going to back out with all this controversy that's going on. I'm going to back out. We're going to reschedule it. We'll do it another time when this is not going on, and we're going to give people the fight that they want, that there's no controversy behind it, that win or lose, they can say that, that it was a clean fight.
Now, I don't think this fight will ever happen now.
You don't think so?
No, Michael Woods, who knows much more than me, and I like to joke around about people that have forgotten more about boxing than I know. He thinks that there's just too much money that it won't happen. But I just think that it will not happen now. Let's remember Golovkin's age. Let's remember that now here's the thing. If you're the Nevada State Athletic Commission, your temporary suspension can make you look like a badass now, because just like somebody pleading guilty to something in court, you now can lay down the hammer on it because he's pulled out. The fight's not going to happen anyways, so maybe they can give him a longer suspension. And so a long suspension for Alvarez would also mean that the Golovkin fight's not going to happen.
Right. Yeah.
It's about the dispute on the tainted meat. So I think Alvarez pulling out does not claim responsibility. I don't think he's saying that because I'm pulling out because I did do wrong. Alvarez still says that he tested positive because he ate meat contaminated with salbutamol. Dude, I still can't pronounce it. In Mexico, where farmers sometimes
not
gonna work here no more. Not gonna fight anymore.
I don't know.
Alvarez did give a quote to TheRinger.com, or The Ringer just picked it up from someplace and are claiming it, but he said, I want to clarify the situation. I have always done tests, voluntary anti-doping association before my fights. They are voluntary. I have always agreed to them before my fights, and they have always come back negative. I am a clean fighter. On this occasion, the results showed small traces of, I can't pronounce it again, but there you go. How did this happen? I don't know. Unfortunately, there is a public problem in my country, in Mexico. Football, cycling, soccer, boxing, people have tested positive for this. This can be transmitted through meat in Mexico. Contaminated meat is what caused us. That is my statement. That has happened in all sports. So the biggest fight of the year will not be happening. Mix that in with nothing to do with boxing, but Tony Ferguson getting injured in UFC. And just like a downer of a week in hand combat, because now Max Holloway has to step up and get murdered.
Right.
He's going to get paid, but he's going to get murdered. But, hey, good for Max Holloway. But I guess the sad part about it is Canelo is a likable guy. He's doing commercials with Sylvester Stallone. He's got all of Mexico behind him.
Mm-hmm.
And if it was a mistake he knew about, what a costly one. And if it's not, just what bad luck. I mean, just unbelievable. Because you're right, Jimmy. The rest of his career, suspicion will always be there. And that's unfortunate because there's no doubting his talent. But, that's where we're at.
Right. That sucks.
The fight is off, but they gave us something newsworthy. So now Golovkin, who is not a pay-per-view star by no means, even though he is one of the biggest boxing names in the world, this is going to be a fight that Golovkin will fight somebody. Who he will fight, I have no idea. To tell you the truth, the casual boxing fan probably lost interest as soon as they saw that Canelo is now officially out of it. I don't know, man. It just bad day for boxing. It's just bad. I mean, it's equivalent. I think Michael Wood said it last week to Kevin Durant testing in the NBA or Michael Jordan. It's just the worst thing that could possibly happen for the sport at this time.
Mm-hmm.
And I was in a bad mood last week. I'm not saying I'm out of the bad mood yet either, but I'm just saying that just boxing sometimes I feel like I could just walk away from it and be done with it. And then this happens and then I feel like I could walk away with it and be done with it. Just because it's such a weird sport and it's just it disappoints more often than it makes me feel good.
Right, yeah. No, I mean, I don't know. I mean, do you think boxing is, like, on its way out?
No. I mean, it's always going to be there, but it doesn't mean that me and my colleagues behind the scenes can't just kind of sigh at it and kind of be tired with it.
Yeah.
I kind of look at it as, the funny thing is me and my colleagues, we really do treat it as a job. So when somebody comes up to us and they're like, oh, you're very lucky to be doing this or you're very lucky to be doing that, Rochelle will tell you, I treat it like a job, and so I never look at it as lucky. And maybe I should, but I made a lot of friends from the sport. These are friendships that I will always cherish, and made a lot of family members through it, and so that part of the sport I will never get tired of. But this just non-structural feeling is annoying, and I think that, and it comes from like Mayweather Pacquiao when they were arguing how long they would fight, and then, injuries happen in this sport, and then all of a sudden that can throw off something. You know, not like that. I mean, Jimmy, if me and you were on a racquetball team and we were named, you know, Team A, you get injured, it's substitute. People can still go see us Team A play. You know,
Right.
if the Cubs lose their best player, you can still see it play. It's just such a weird sport, and the fact that something like this could happen, the whole event's gone now because it's one-on-one individuality. And it's just, that's the part of the sport that's just so tough for the casual fan to get on board with, because it has that unpredictability, that non-structure feel to it. And although these athletes are kind of their own bosses and sign with managements and get to pick their own fights, this is the downfall of it, in the fact that, you know, I don't know. It's tough to explain, dude. I can't even put it into words how disappointed I am today, but whatever. You know, life unfortunately will go on in boxing. And no, I don't want to sound too bitter about it. It like really pisses me off. Could have been anyone else. And then mix that in with what happened this weekend with Joshua and Parker and how bad that fight was, and that was supposed to be a good heavyweight fight.
Right.
That's absolutely horrible. Like, a bad week, bad 7 days for boxing. Not even 7 days. So that Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. 4 days. Bad 4 days in boxing.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, that's... I mean, but it's the nature of the sport, you know. I mean,
the nature of the beast.
It is. It like you said, it sucks, you know. Because I was trying to think. You were saying that, you know, if one guy gets injured or he can't compete or whatever, the whole thing's shot. I was really trying to think of like other sports where like that might happen, and there really isn't. The only thing that you could kind of compare it to is if like you followed a specific Olympian who competed in an individual sport, and then they got injured or they couldn't compete or whatever, and then you couldn't watch them. But you know, I mean, it's still not the same. But you just, I don't know. I mean, you're really putting a whole lot on two guys' shoulders, or two women, you know, depending on who's fighting. You know, it's a whole lot of pressure to not only stay healthy and give them a good show, but to, you know, keep that competitive edge without cheating, you know. So I can't think of any other sport where you have that issue, you know. I mean, every other sport's a team sport, so one guy goes down, you have somebody that steps in, you know.
Right.
Verlander can't pitch, you throw in another pitcher, you know. You know, your goalie in hockey is sick, you throw in another goalie, you know. It just, it's you might not be your favorite person, but you can still, the game's not over because one guy gets sick or injured or whatever.
The individual, what makes the sport great, the individuality and their courage and their willing to put their lives on the line for income or to give their family a better situation. The thing that's great about the sport is also the double-edged sword, that if something's to happen to this person, or you know what happened here with Canelo, I don't know who to believe. And I told Michael Woods that I don't know. You know, I've interviewed Canelo before. I've been with Canelo before. I don't know though. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would like to think. I'd like to think he didn't, but then Michael Woods tells me that, you know how much meat you have to eat for this to even pop up.
Well, I mean, he is a boxer who is training, and you're going to eat a lot of protein. You are going to eat a lot of meat, you know. Yeah. So I mean, is it possible? Yes. Is it likely? You know, I mean, it's feasible, but not, you know. It's in the realm of possibility, but not probability, if that makes any sense.
Oh, yeah. I got you. I am drinking the blonde cherry beer from Falling Down Beer Company.
How is it?
It's actually good.
Yeah?
It's a slow pour out there, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, to get up to, like, about here, it took forever. Well, Falling Down Beer Company, of course, sponsors the show. But, so that is the great news that Canelo gave us to start off the show. There's always
relative term great news.
Well, because there's always controversy
Right.
in the sport. But let me just touch on really quick as we move the show on. I do have to talk Parker and Joshua. After seeing Joshua beat Klitschko, I thought, well, I'm not sure Wilder would beat Joshua. Then after watching the Joshua-Parker fight, even though it was terribly officiated inside the ring by the referee, I'm not sure that Joshua would beat Wilder now. I don't know. I mean, that another part about the sport that's so great is that you just get to speculate. There's so much speculation in the sport. It's worse than the stock market, really. And, so if this fight happens, now I kind of would maybe bet Wilder because I thought Joshua looked so horrible. But I do want Wilder to go overseas and fight there because those soccer arenas and everything look absolutely amazing. But now I'm not sure. I don't know. Who knows? And I should be rooting for Wilder. Wilder's a super nice guy. And his backstory is absolutely amazing. But I think Wilder's power and his power late in the rounds might now be a factor for Joshua. But it looked so bad that I thought if Klitschko came back and was in somewhat good shape, he could maybe beat Joshua. It was just not a good fight for Joshua. Not a good fight for a Saturday afternoon to watch. And when you thought the heavyweight division was getting a little bit of momentum, that fight happens, and then you're kind of like, okay, well, it's Wilder and Joshua and nobody else. Maybe Miller from Salida and Greg Cohen, maybe he's somewhere in the mix, but he's not the size of those guys. So yeah, what a bad 4 freaking days in a row. And then just to switch really quick to MMA, I know I try not to do that because I'm confusing people, but Tony Ferguson goes down with an injury. Let's just call it what it is. That is a huge blow, and that's something you cannot control. And Cody, who will be here in a few minutes. Well, there's Cody. We're just talking about you. We're just talking about Tony Ferguson here really quick. He might, Cody's really short, so you might really have to just say.
Well, so I'm about to see here what happens. Oh man, that's bad. No, you just get in your position wherever you're going to be, and you're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. Just going to have to move the camera. There we go, right there.
Perfect.
That's perfect.
Let's
here, actually bring the microphone like that. There you go.
There you go.
There you go.
Specs Howard.
And also you move your microphone a little bit over that way, like talking to the side of it, not right in front of it.
There we
go. Okay.
That's my good side though.
Yeah.
So we're just talking Tony Ferguson. What a huge blow to this card, even though it's still going to be a good card. Nothing you can do about it. It's an injury, but that's the sport, man.
I mean, I heard that it was a freak accident.
He was walking to go talk to somebody, wasn't he? Like somebody he knew.
He tripped and hurt his knee. I mean, that was insane. I feel for the guy. That's got to be absolutely brutal. Especially that close and in that way, man.
Yeah.
I feel bad for him, but they saved the day. I mean, Max Holloway's perfect replacement.
Right. I don't think Max is going to win. I'm not going to say no chance, but
I think Khabib was the absolute last guy I'd ever want to fight on 7 days' notice.
Exactly. But
that guy pushes a pace that's hard to keep up with, even if you have a full camp.
But is there any truth to Max? Is there any truth to Max might be able to surprise him because he's training for Ferguson? Because all of a sudden his camp has changed too. You're preparing for one guy, and now you got Max Holloway.
Similar body types, though.
Yeah.
It's pretty much the same height, same size guys. The only difference is now you're fighting. I mean, and they're both pretty much, for the most part, strikers.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think Khabib's game plan changes for anyone.
Right.
He knows he's a better wrestler every time he gets in the cage. He knows he's got a better top game than everybody else, but I don't know. Holloway could crack him. Holloway could catch him. I think Holloway hits harder than Tony Ferguson does.
Would that mess up the Moscow weekend? Because they want Khabib. I mean, they already know.
Yeah, they want Khabib and Conor to fight.
Yeah. I mean, that's the only... I mean, even if it's not Conor, you know,
anyone really, because that's
right, he's a
a
star,
draw, yeah.
right. If Max Holloway was to pull up this upset, and I'm not sure what he will be underdog wise, but he will be an underdog. That would definitely mess up the Moscow date. Would you like the Moscow to fight over there? We were talking how.
Am I fighting a Russian?
Oh no, shit.
If
No.
I'm fighting a Russian in Russia, and hell no. Because if that judge gives me a fight, then his whole family gets killed, I think. I don't know what the rule is, but I think that's the rule.
Oh, that ain't good.
No, I don't. I've heard a lot of bad stories about guys in Russia. I heard a story where this guy like submitted a guy like with a choke, like right in the beginning of the fight, and the ref like said there was a nut shot and stood him up and made him fight again, made him keep fighting.
Yeah, that wouldn't be good.
Yeah, it's a scary place to fight.
But still excited for the car, right? Because you got Thug Rose still going at it. I totally think she's going to win. If I have to make a prediction again, I think she defends her belt. But not a bad card. It's just, we were talking about disappointment. We started off the show talking about Canelo. He's pulled out of the Golovkin fight. Whether
Because
or
he
not,
knows he's getting suspended anyways. Probably.
that's exactly what I
That's
said.
what we were saying, yeah.
That, like, you know,
He just beat the.
Preemptive. Yeah.
He knew he was getting suspended, so he just did what he knew was already happening. If he pulled out, it looks better than if he gets suspended. You know what I mean?
and there could be the fact that he doesn't want people to spend money, get hotel fares and stuff like that. I really do believe, you know, whether or not he cheated, that he doesn't want his fans to be hurt from this, and pulling out sooner than later is better for the people that are going to the fight and trying to scramble and get their money back. And MGM was already offering refunds on the fight, but just a weird 4 days in hand combat with that happening. And obviously Ferguson, I guess, saw someone he knew, started walking over to someone he knew and got injured, which just, I mean, tough as nails. But then something like that freak accident happened and stuff.
It's wild.
I know. Like, I saw an MMA fighter one time, they were playing beach volleyball, and this guy's career was going pretty good. And I just remember thinking, you know, beach volleyball, you play it barefoot, and there's no, like, support, you know what I'm saying? So, like, when you're running in sand, you know, and I just, like, nothing happened with him, but I remember, like, he was a little bit out from a fight, just thinking that was one of the dumbest things I've ever seen, because, like, beach volleyball, I've seen some ACLs torn in beach volleyball and stuff, just because, like, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it's the uneven ground, and it's not really that soft.
Right. Yeah, and I just remember doing that. But here's a guy that, you know, just was, for all intents and purposes, just walking, and that happens. But where are you going to be watching the fights there? You got any viewing parties or anything going on?
I don't know. I don't have any plans for the fights. The fight I'm really looking forward to is the Paul Felder Al Iaquinta fight.
Mm-hmm. Who do you like in that one?
I think Al could beat him.
Yeah.
You know, Paul Felder's looked awesome his last few fights, but I think if there's someone that could beat him, it'd be Al Iaquinta. He's a tough dude. Real good everywhere, too.
Yeah.
Stylistically, it's a bad fight for Paul Felder, I think.
With Paul Felder, do you think that he controls the fight, and Al, I don't want to say he's a spoiler there, but Al has to fight his fight? Because it seems like Paul is very good at, like, I don't want to say enforcing his will, but he dictates the fight.
Yeah, he's a tough guy. And if he gets you moving backwards, he does really well. Like, Darren fought him perfectly. He just stayed on him, pushed him back. You know, Paul just took everything Darren had and eventually wore him out and finished him. But Iaquinta's one of those guys that's going to come forward, going to get in his face. It's going to make it an ugly fight. And he's a super tough guy. Like, he won't mentally break, and he'll be in really good shape. So I can see him pulling off. I think he's probably, and I'd imagine he's probably underdog in that fight. I'd see him pulling the upset.
Nice. I will actually be at Eastern Michigan, where they are having MMA, boxing, and a concert. So after that, I'm hoping to go catch the last two fights of the UFC somewhere around that area. But an MMA boxing card, I guess they're going to alternate the MMA and the boxing.
Well, I mean, what is going on with that? I just found out about that today.
It's called Vegas Nights. There's a ladies' lounge. Not only that, there's some casino gambling
Yeah.
at the Eastern Convention Center.
Yeah.
Our ring girls, of course, will be there. And
Massages.
I don't know what that means, though. I think it's the massage lady we see everywhere.
She has like this little technique with a ball and
I tell you, there's not a better venue in Michigan, I don't think.
Is it massages or is it
No,
massages?
no,
Oh, okay.
no, come on, legit massages, dude.
You never know.
No, I know the guys.
You never know.
I'm
show.
very interested.
You're more than welcome to come. And then afterwards, we go find UFC,
I
though.
think we have a girl fighting, Kelly Cutler, I think, fighting.
Yeah, she's the main event for the MMA, I
Oh,
think.
there you go. I'm a little bit out of the loop.
I believe she's fighting that Kara girl, right?
The girl that just fought Lucia Zapatetta.
Yeah.
I don't know her name. I just know that's just what I found out today.
Kara Sassoon, Sisson.
No.
Tyner's fighting again. I mean, Tyner's 43, 42, 41. Yeah, he's older than me. He's fighting. But he's fighting for some title. James Ballard has a rematch. That fight, I'll run down the fight when you do what's on tap of what's going on there. I think it's 4 or 5 boxing matches, and I think it's 4 or 5 MMA fights, and then there's a concert too. The
Wow.
Convocation Center at Eastern
They're
Michigan's
just trying to hit a
amazing.
large
Yeah.
target market, huh?
Yeah.
They are. And
Come on, see everything.
I told Rochelle, I
I
just
think her fighting her massages.
I told Rochelle I just want to be surprised by the whole event. I haven't even asked being part of the production side of it. I don't want to know anything, but I just want to be just as surprised as
Just
anyone.
when do I show up?
Yeah, when do I
Right.
show up and
Sure.
surprise
Where,
me?
and then put me where you need me.
Because
It'd be cool if they played a band in between fights.
that would be cool. The one thing I don't want to happen is that it be at the end of the night and then we have to stick around for the concert. That's the one thing I wouldn't want. But you, Mr. Social Entertainment, did a beer chugging contest in at Deltaplex with a famous motocross guy, or I really don't know who he is.
He got famous on YouTube making these videos that they're actually really hilarious. He just like jumps like old dirt bikes and quads, and he's super famous in the whole motocross world. He's got like 500,000 followers on Instagram just from saying, "I'm still gonna send it." That's his whole catchphrase.
And
He's actually he's Canadian dude, really nice dude. Wears a jean jacket and like jeans,
Of course he
Canadian
does.
tuxedo.
Because he's Canadian.
He has a
He's got
mullet,
a mullet,
too.
yeah.
He had a mullet.
He's definitely he's a character. He's a funny dude.
Uh,
Yeah, so that just came about like I randomly just asked, and I was like, dude, tell Larry the Enticer I can whoop him in a beer drinking contest,
And then you went down, though. You
and I
lost.
lost. Never challenged a Canadian to a drinking contest.
So
24-ounce Budweiser. I mean, it wasn't like it was a can.
Right.
he looked like he's done that before, though. Like
Yeah.
he's been challenged at other arenas. And
He's I mean, that's what he like drinks and rides snowmobiles and dirt bikes. So I was like, screw it. I think it'd be fun if we just tried it out.
I thought it was a lot of fun.
Hey!
But it looked like he had fun. How was the rest of the motocross event?
It was a really fun event. The whole thing. I mean, I've never been to an event like that, especially not in the back. Like they literally raced like nonstop, and it smelled like I felt like I was high when I left that place because there's so much
Just
like,
fumes.
exhaust fumes. Yeah, but it was cool event.
Now, motocross brings out the hottest women, but brings out some of the scuzziest guys. That's the
Which is
experience
weird.
I had.
Which is weird. A lot of it's a beer drinking sport for sure.
So,
It's like MMA.
do the scuzzy guys have a chance at the hot women at those competitions, or are they just there for the...
You ever see like it's like the Tokyo Road's the trailer park. She's always at all those events. The MMA fights, at the motocross events, it's the same thing. You get your white trash, and then all the chicks that are wearing little skirts and dresses. Everybody's drinking Budweiser.
Yeah, I must say, I used to date a motocross rider. When I was like 19, though.
Look at her. Did he have a mullet?
No.
No mullet. This guy had a mullet. And this guy had his own merchandise, too, because I saw people walking around with he's famous.
He is doing okay for himself.
Making $100,000 probably a year plus.
Look him up on. I mean, they paid him pretty well to be there. Like he was doing appearances at like all the local power sports shops for like $1,000 a piece. His name's Larry the Enticer.
Oh, well, there you go.
I'll laugh if you can't.
He's got like over 500,000 followers on Instagram. Like,
Well,
people were drilling over him. And there was a line of people waiting to get shit signed from him.
Was he signing girls' breasts and shit like that?
No, I didn't see that. I would like to have seen that.
Like Happy Gilmore. He's just signing girls' breasts and stuff.
Yeah, no.
Don't watch that. Oh no, Ricky Bobby. Don't watch that. It's gonna be worth something later. But
Take and bake.
So was that during an intermission?
Yeah, we did that in the animation.
Nice.
Yeah. I'm usually pretty good at that too. And that might be one of the only times I've ever lost shotgun on a beer.
Yeah.
I was pretty confident I was going to beat him.
Well, if it comes back, you got reason to challenge him if you're not in camp.
Go practice. I mean, one beer. You wouldn't believe how many people were like, "That's really smart, drinking beer when you're a fighter." I'm like,
But you don't have a fight book. Why not? Yeah, exactly.
what?
Exactly. And you don't have a fight coming up.
You don't know what athletes do on their off season.
Right, exactly. The worst.
Well, here's the thing.
We all have like drinking and eating disorders.
That was good marketing for you though. That kind of went viral.
Smart.
It was like UFC fighter Cody Stamann shotgunning a beer. Didn't even
I
say.
got like 6 followers from him. Sweet.
Well, he didn't even mention the Enticer. It said UFC fighter Cody Stamann. So like you were top billing over the Enticer, even though you lost in the big.
Even though I lost, it would have been a lot different if I beat him.
Oh my God! Can you imagine? He might be competitive enough that he would have fired up another one, dude. Like put the.
No, I'm not as good as your last fight. My last competition I lost, so.
Well, we are joined by Anthony Barnes. Anthony, you got a fight coming up at Soundboard.
Yeah, I do. It's been
week?
like 2 years, but yeah.
A week from
Yeah, like 10
Friday.
days from now.
Yeah.
11 days or something like that.
and this is happening at Soundboard. I talked to Carlos, I think 2 days ago. Not a lot of fights, or not a lot of tickets left. It's night of knockouts at Soundboard, which is actually, I've been calling every venue a good venue, but Soundboard's a great venue.
That's an awesome venue.
So, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
You know,
It's been a while. You took my spot. And
First off, you'll never catch Cody
No,
now. He's our
never.
official co-host, and so like he's been here all the time. But the other thing is, we are celebrating 5 years, so it didn't seem right for you not to be here.
yeah, no, that makes sense.
5 years. We haven't even talked about it yet. We were waiting for you guys to come here, but 5 years. There's marriages that don't even last 5 years, and
I've never dated anyone even close to 5 years.
no.
Same. No.
What's the longest?
Consecutively, the relationship that I'm in right now, it's over a year.
Oh, okay.
It's usually like an on and off thing.
Mine's almost 2 years.
Okay.
Super close.
Yeah, two years is a big commitment.
Yeah, not really.
No?
No, not really. Think about it. Like, I mean, it's
Happens
2 years.
fast.
Yeah, it happens super fast. It's 2 years.
This went by in a blink of an eye.
But
I'm on his Instagram. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
he's looking at the
Looking at the
Enticer.
Enticer's Instagram?
Yeah. It immediately went to
Popular
like,
guy.
What's that?
He's a popular guy.
Oh, yeah.
he looks like Joe Dirt. I'm sorry. Just a little bit.
Do you know who Larry the Enticer is?
Yeah, I think so. Almost positive.
He's going to Google him right now.
No, I don't know. I'm pretty sure.
Still gonna send it. Dude, people
Yeah, okay. I definitely know who he is. For sure.
He's a super nice like
Denim Danger.
Denim Danger.
Yeah. Never mind. I 100% know who he is.
So funny because my brother like loves him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to meet him and stuff. That was cool. He's 22 years old. That guy is. He
What?
looks like he's 40.
What?
Yeah,
No.
Yeah.
Oh, no. I would have never assumed. I'm just looking at him again. I would have never assumed that guy is. He could pick out any prize on the midway at Cedar Point if I was guessing his age. There's no way I would have thought he was that young. I would have thought mid-30s, at least. 32, 33.
22.
Wow.
Dude, he's probably making more money than all of us.
Oh, easy. Easy. And just saying, what's the catchphrase?
I'm still gonna send it.
Dude, we gotta...
Just gonna send it.
Just gonna send it.
Yep,
Alright.
there it is, right there. Just there.
Oh, boy.
Yep.
But yeah, so We're celebrating 5 years, and this end of the table, 5 freaking years.
Yeah,
That's tough to
I
imagine.
mean,
Yeah,
I'm
there's
trying to think.
many things out there.
I
5
think
years.
I think my second marriage, all together, we were together for 6 years.
You were married twice?
Twice, yeah.
I never knew that.
Yeah, you did.
No,
Fuck you.
I swear to God, I never.
You did know that.
I
You
didn't
talked
know that.
about it numerous times.
I also didn't know you were
Swear.
ever married.
Yeah.
I swear.
You met.
Nope.
Barnes, we talked about it on the show with you on
How
there.
many times have you been married now?
Twice.
Once.
Wait,
Two
yeah,
times?
I see.
2 times.
2 times.
Yeah, 2
So-
times.
Is it a recent
Divorced
breakup?
twice. About a year ago.
Jimmy, like, I swear, I never knew you were married.
I
Girlfriends
didn't
here and
know
there,
that.
like, not married. Never knew.
I thought you were a Tinder addict.
Right.
I met Brad through my ex-wife.
True story. Are you guys still friends?
Who, him and his ex-wife? Or me and his
You.
ex-wife? No.
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 Actually, it's funny. I got Brad in the breakup. I got Brad who was showing the breakup.
I wasn't part of that.
Yeah, you were.
No,
Isn't that weird how that happens? Like,
Yeah.
kind of divide up the friends.
Well, I met him through my ex, and then when we started doing the radio show, like, we became really good friends, and then when my ex and I separated, like, we just remained friends, and she went off to do her, other things. So, yeah.
Wait, hold on, I'm not trying to, but you said she went and did her other things. like she was doing other dudes or something like that.
Well, I am not saying anything on air.
Call.
Maybe off air. I'll say a few things, but not on air.
So we're not your longest relationship yet at 5 years.
Well, actually, you are my longest relationship because I've known you for probably because we knew each other before we started the show.
True.
So
About a
I
year
think.
before.
Well, I got home in September, and I think that's September, October, and I think that's when I met you. So September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April. So 5 years and 8 months I've known you. So it's really close.
Yeah.
It's really close.
Drunk
Yeah.
at a bar. No surprise.
Yeah. I mean, friendship-wise, no, because I do have a best friend that I've been best friends since we were freshmen in high school. So.
No, I just meant
Yeah.
compared to girl relationship.
Yeah, no. It's
Yeah.
really, really close.
Just his physical relationship.
Right.
Yeah.
I know that
You got that, yeah.
before we did this show though, and I just got reminded this by Facebook. We used to do trivia nights down in Woodward Avenue.
Yeah.
And officially 5 years ago today, also, we finished first place. We got our $10
Yeah.
card today because
Yeah.
it came up on my feed.
Yeah.
We were going against these mighty minds every
No, they were
time.
cheaters.
I think they were.
They were cheaters. They were looking on their phone. They were looking on their phone.
Every week we would go there and we would lose in these trivia contests, and to where it motivated us every week to bring our A game. And then 5 years ago today we also won that trivia contest.
Yeah.
But once we started the show, we didn't do the trivia contest anymore.
No.
We had other fish to fry.
Right.
But I don't know. Maybe another 5 years in us. Is really,
Yeah, I don't see why not.
Yeah.
I mean,
Maybe that's
honestly.
it. Well,
Yeah.
It's the youth on that table that keeps us going.
Yeah,
The
exactly.
youth on the table
Yeah.
that keeps us going.
Yeah.
So Anthony, in these 2 years off, for people that are not familiar with what happened, you were dealing with some injuries and stuff. Tell us what was happening during these 2 years off.
Okay, so I had wrist surgery, I had elbow surgery, and they had to go back and I had to go back and get more cortisone and stuff like that into my elbow afterwards because it didn't heal right, whatever. So I had to do that, more physical therapy. I had shoulder issues, more stuff with that. So I mean, I don't know, and management problems and stuff like that along the way. So it didn't really help. But
Good thing it's over now.
yeah, it's over
You're back in it,
now.
that's awesome.
Yeah, a few more days. So.
Now I watched your Snapchat last night, and you were getting this. Do you have the video so you can show Cody and Jimmy and Rochelle? Because
Probably on my social media. So. What was it?
it looked like it was out of Buck Rogers, the TV show. It was something that looked like red.
Oh,
You were doing, this ultra?
So I went to Boost Cryo
Red light
therapy. Yeah. Did that, and And then I do like spot treatment, like cryotherapy stuff. So like freezing the part.
To our age group, that looks like something out of a sci-fi show. Does that stuff really work?
It helps a little bit, I guess. I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
I've never done the red light therapy. I've done cryotherapy. It's just fucking freezing cold.
Yeah. Cryotherapy is pretty much just like the ice bath on steroids. So
Uh-huh.
it's just really, really intense. And it's only 3 minutes instead of 15 minutes, so it's nice.
You gotta be careful with your nipples in there.
Yeah.
My buddy Vince got frostbite on his nipple.
Oh,
In cryotherapy.
that's better than
I
like
just
what I
like
thought you were
this.
gonna say. Like they break off.
That's what I was
Because they
thinking.
froze or
Like they
something.
just.
Yeah, if you have any like moisture on you, it's done.
Like all your skin tags
Freezes.
fall off.
Yeah.
It's like negative 55 degrees. It's
Yeah.
horrible.
Your body temperature, it's like 50 degrees. Like put a little I don't know, put a laser thermostat thing on you and tell you like 50, and I don't know the science behind it, but it works.
Well, when we go on our break, I definitely want you to show it because, like, I'm skeptical, Brad, skeptical with that because it looks just so science fiction. The infrared stuff, I believe the freezing stuff
Sure.
works, but the thing you had your wrist in, that looks like something out of like Star Wars.
She offered it to me.
I'm not saying you bought into it or anything.
No, I mean, like, I was like, yeah, well, maybe why not?
They have at the Performance Institute. At the
So-
UFC Performance
then it must
they
do
have like
something,
a
then.
red light tanning bed and a cryotherapy machine. So I feel like there's got to be. I mean, they wouldn't just buy that just to.
Yeah,
I feel like whatever's
Science
doing it
behind it.
can't be negative. So,
right. No, I mean it's not gonna hurt.
Feels good.
So do you got an opponent lined up or what's going on now?
all right. So when it comes to opponents, the casino online says I have an opponent, which, if I'm not mistaken, was like something Dozer was his last name. He was one of the people that we were trying to get to sign a contract. We actually we still have 3 people trying to get to sign a contract. Whoever signs it first wins, more or less. But this guy's out because he actually just fought an Olympian on the Golden Boy card last weekend. So he lost, and then I guess it didn't really end up well for him. So I guess they have 2 opponents that have known about it for the last month and a half, 2 months. So I guess they're going over money wise, like what they're going to get. So
Nice.
yeah.
And then, being a comeback fight for you, what are you looking to get some work in? Or, I mean, you can't control who's going to sign the contract first, but
Either way,
you don't want a quick knockout. Probably
Either way,
after being long.
one guy, he's a 6'6" Cuban guy, like really tough dude. Just coming off a win. And then the other one, he's like 16 and 20, coming off a win and like a couple draws or whatever. Fought some really like good names. So truly, I don't really care if I get work. I don't get work. I'm gonna try and do the same exact thing to either one. So we don't get paid by the hour. So make it quick and that's it.
Not too bad.
Yeah, and then I can go chug a beer or something like that with Cody. Yeah.
Well, Cody needs
I need to redeem myself.
I know, exactly.
Yeah.
Cody definitely needs to redeem himself over there, so he's probably up for the challenge there. So, as people don't know you, if they don't know you, you're from the Kronk family and everything like that.
Yeah.
Talk about, like, all of a sudden, Dimitri Salita's brought a lot of Russians in there.
Man, it's been awesome. It's been great because we get so much different work now. We got I'm not going to botch all their names. So either way, we have heavyweight, light heavyweight, a cruiserweight, a super middleweight.
Zubov, I can pronounce
Yeah,
that.
well, Alexi, yeah.
Ubov, I can too, but he's not working at the Kronk, right? Ubov.
Is it Alexi?
No. Ubov, the bullet, the guy that fights crazy.
Oh no,
The monster.
No, yeah, I don't think he works there sometimes.
Okay.
But right now, I think he's in New York or something like that right now. But we got a lot of people. Sean, the one that fought Sonny Fredrickson from
Yeah.
Ohio, he's in there every day.
Lots of power.
Yeah, a lot of power, speed, southpaw, super talented. Yeah, we have so much work right now. On top of it, we have Dominic Dalton, we have Joseph Bonus, myself. I mean, and all the other Kronk fighters. I mean, right now it's like the place to be if you want work. So.
And this fight puts you at, you were at 8-0 or 9-0?
9-0.
10-0.
Yeah.
After this fight, how quick are you looking to get right back into it?
I already got another one scheduled in Nashville in June, like around my birthday, like June 22nd. and then one right after again back here in July. I think July 11th or something like that. So trying to get back really quick and get another contract so we can, so I don't have to sell tickets to pay for a bonus,
Mm-hmm.
So, fighting for free isn't that fun. So,
And you've also worked on your website. I saw it the other day. Very impressive. Where can people follow you?
Obviously. All right, so people can honestly go to my website, anthonybarnesboxing.com. I have links to all my social media, my Twitter, which I don't really use. I don't like Twitter. In my Instagram, your favorite _AB, and that's for my Instagram and Twitter. And then my Facebook, just Anthony Barnes. So.
Now, you weren't here, but we opened the show with Canelo pulling out of the Triple G fight. How disappointed as a boxer that this fight, I doubt this rematch will ever happen.
I'm surprised it didn't get canceled a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
He failed the drug test. Like, who can get away with that? Like, they're going to suspend him, or even if they let the fight go, and then say he beat Triple G, then what? Then everyone's like, yeah, well, he's on steroids. Like, I mean, he failed the drug test. Like,
Jimmy said there was no win for Canelo there. You win, people say you're on roids. You lose, you've lost. The fight happens, they're mad that you weren't punished. The fight doesn't happen, they're mad that you maybe cheated. Like, there was literally no way Canelo could have won. I mean, there was no road that led to his salvation. It was an uncomfortable position.
Yeah,
Plus, wouldn't he have gotten a huge, a mega fine from the Nevada Athletic Commission?
Yeah, it's coming.
You think he's still going to get it?
Oh yeah, now because he's pulled out, I think that allows them to lay down the hammer now. Because I think if they thought the fight could happen, just because that town lives on fights, the prime example is when Mayweather allegedly, or I think he might have pleaded guilty, when he got in an altercation with one of his, I guess the proper term is baby mama, they literally postponed his prison sentence so he could get a fight in because it meant so much to the city. Then he went and served 3 months. I believe he served 3 months in jail.
Yeah.
So that town wants their money. But now that he's out, they can act like they're big and bad, I think, and just be like, punish him. Year suspension.
And that just shows like these sanctioning bodies and the athletic commission and stuff, they really don't mean anything. If they want the fight to happen, even if you test dirty, it will happen. You know what I mean?
Right. Like when John Jones tested positive a month before his fight, nothing got released until I think a month after the fight.
You guys use USADA, right, or whatever.
USADA's no joke. Like, they show up wherever you are, whenever you.
But it's a privately owned, company, so they can release what they want. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's.
But the UFC's paying them still. You know what I mean? The UFC pays USADA, so I still feel like the UFC kind of has USADA in their back pocket. Like, hey, don't release that shit right now.
Yeah, privately owned. That's the benefit.
Like all that stuff with John Jones. I mean,
it's crazy.
Yeah, because they don't have to return the pay-per-view money.
Yeah, he failed the drug test, and he's like saying that he didn't know he was taking steroids. I'm like, well, it doesn't matter. Nobody accidentally takes steroids, dude. Come on. Like, you know what I mean? We'd all be tested positive for steroids.
Right.
My chicken had steroids in it. No, that's not how it works.
The thing that makes me so mad about the John Jones thing is that Cormier mentioned it at the press conference that week, and John Jones got up and showed his body, and he goes, does this look like somebody that's on his steroids and stuff? And like, he was playing the I'm not on it and everything, and he knew he already got popped. My theory is that somebody told him. You know what I'm saying? So like, man, was he, like, he had to know. Like you said, he tested way in advance. Like, so that's my theory. Like, what a performance. Because during the press conference, you're acting like, what's he talking about, DC over there? Yeah, look at this. Oh, he was selling it.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, he was selling it.
Just gotta send it, you know?
Just gotta send it. That's gotta be a drop for us, dude. Just gotta send it. I want to hear how he says it. Can you pull up Rochelle and get it on? Or Jimmy can.
I can try.
I want to hear exactly how he says it. Does he say it with a Canadian accent?
I don't
Like
know.
a redneck Canadian accent.
Hold on a second.
Amazing.
Did Kara Rowlek know him right away? He'd be like, "Oh yeah, that's our James Dean."
He doesn't seem like the kind of person that Kara would know.
What's he called again?
Larry the Enticer.
On his Instagram, it's just Larry Enticer.
Enticer. Hold on, I'm going to see if I can pull up
Special.
Just gonna send it. Let's see.
It's like having trouble.
Just gonna send it. I'm just seeing if I can get just a small little clip. All right, let's see if I can pull this up here.
He looks 35.
By the way, I know Dave said that.
I don't know, I just woke up from a little nap. It's a little dark, but you guys silly? I'm still gonna send it.
We're gonna have to use Cody's connections and get him on the show.
Absolutely. Oh! Jeez, oh beats! Oh my god! Okay. Dude, he's a Canadian jackass.
Nice.
That's exactly what it is. He's a Canadian jackass. He went up an ice ramp on a snowmobile and landed just super awkward and hard on the other side, just like bounces off of it.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
Pretty bad.
Let's go to our first break. When we come back, what's on tap? 8:30, we got Eric Deleon going to be on the show. And then right after the break, we are going to try to track down our good friends from Top Rope Review, do a quick pay-per-view WrestleMania breakdown.
Right.
And then Eric Deleon on the other side.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Welcome back to the Undercard, officially episode 271, but 5 years in the book. We're joined by Anthony Barnes. Anthony Barnes has been on the show a ton over the 5 years, so it's great to have him on. Stick around for the 8:30 mark, Eric Deleon, who clearly, I mean, Anthony, you've been around Eric forever. You guys were roommates on the road.
He was my roommate, my teammate.
Couldn't happen to a nicer kid. Now is, just everybody's talking about him with the big boys, which is great because, this was a big test for him, and he hung with A-list talent, and so perfect.
Yeah, I got a draw in a big fight.
Should have won it, too.
Should have won. Yeah,
Last 5 rounds
was
pushing it.
Yeah, and now he's just going to get another big fight, so I'm sure.
And a good payday, too.
And a good payday.
Really good payday because it was an exciting fight. He was bringing the tempo.
For sure. Yeah, he's HBO ready for sure.
Nice.
HBO ready. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh my god.
All right.
We're going to do what's on tap. Can't do the other thing because we still don't have we still don't have one that will reach my laptop. Thank you, Dave, even though I've asked you about it several times. All right. April 6th, starting off with boxing. At the Villa Dominico in Argentina, we have Yasia Bop versus Soledad del Valar Frias. 10 rounds for Bop's WBA Women's Junior Flyweight title. April 7th, Las Vegas on Showtime, we have Jared Hurd versus Orlando Lara. 12 rounds for the IBF WBA Junior Middleweight Unification.
Really quick, can you pause you there? Who you like in that, Barnes?
I wasn't listening at all.
Hurd versus Lara.
Oh, Hurd. I want Hurd to win.
Yeah.
Hurd.
See, but Laura's very skilled.
He's more talented, but Hurd's a big guy, and Hurd can punch, and he has an awesome chin.
But Laura's going to be riding that bicycle backwards, though.
Yeah, but I think Laura's going to lose.
All right.
We also have Caleb Tro versus James Goodall. Rematch, 12 rounds for Tro's IBF Super Middleweight title. We also, let's see, I think that's it for boxing. It is it for boxing. And I can't do anything for MMA because my printer is just like blacked everything out. Yeah.
Your dog is
I don't
Hold on
know.
a second, Cody.
I didn't, wait, so hold on. So I tried looking it up, but I did see in there, and you said you were going to talk about it, the fight out of the Eastern University.
Yeah, so locally, you got a combination of MMA boxing that's happening this Saturday at Eastern Michigan Convocation Center. Plus, there's a concert.
Strippers, massages,
dancing. No. It's
Vegas nights.
family entertainment. Vegas nights. It's happening in UFC on Saturday night.
Right.
But more importantly, what's happening on the national scene, UFC 223, right? No, not 223.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, 223.
UFC 223. It's like the biggest card I've seen in a really long time.
Is it
Two title
Khabib?
fights.
Is that how you pronounce
Two
it?
title fights. Khabib Nurmagomedov.
not going to work here.
145 pound champ.
Namajunas?
Max Holloway fighting.
Funny enough, the site that I go to get the stuff for what's on tap did not have the UFC fight on there.
That's ridiculous.
I know.
Tapology?
What? No, it wasn't Tapology. No, it did not have the UFC fight, but I knew 223 was this weekend, so I'm like, so I questioned myself because I'm like, is it next weekend?
You got to
So then,
man.
so then I looked it up and it showed that it was this weekend, but it wasn't on the list. So I did write it down, but we had mentioned it. So
Like Cody said,
Yeah.
this card's huge.
Yeah.
And around 4th of July, they do UFC, that whole week. That card will be bigger, but right now this card's
yeah,
the big
I cannot
book.
pronounce the girls' names to save my life.
Johanna and Rose.
Rose versus Joanna.
Rose
Joanna.
Yamanunas
Yeah.
and Joanna Jędrzejczyk.
There you go.
Good
Good.
job.
Cody's, man.
Yeah.
He's here to put us in.
Well,
They
I mean,
fought on the same
he's.
team. Yeah, I like heard their names like 90.
I was gonna say, and he's a company man. He should know how to pronounce their names.
That's
Yeah.
true.
I
Who do you like in that one? Rose again, defending?
don't know. I don't know. I really thought. I mean, I did a whole breakdown yesterday, but I don't really remember.
That's for another.
I don't want to pick.
We don't get breakdowns.
I don't want to. No, I had some really intelligent stuff to say about the fight too. I said there's a lot of what ifs in that fight because it ended so quite fast the first time. But I also felt like Joanna was probably sitting on a pretty high horse, maybe not training the way she should have.
Yeah.
And got caught by someone who thought she was a lesser opponent, and now I think she'll probably come back and be a little bit more hungry.
And we were talking about it with
She kinda got knocked off her pedestal.
yeah, Joanna. Is it the Ronda Rousey effect where like the invincibility's gone now? You know.
You know, and I think that if they fought guys, they would get their ass kicked.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, I totally. I got it.
All right, so I'm gonna call up Josh.
Yeah, we're gonna call up Josh. We're gonna do a WrestleMania breakdown here really quick for our 18 wrestling fans that tune in. So you're welcome. This is just for you guys.
Anthony and I are just gonna have a conversation in the background. Yeah. Talking about some super weird shit.
Hello?
Hey Josh, you're live on the air with the Undercard. How are you?
Good, how are you guys?
Good. We're celebrating
Hi, Josh.
5 freaking years. So that's what we're doing right now. But big week in wrestling. Thank you very much.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Josh.
Cody gave you a thanks, Josh. So if you're not familiar, Josh is on Top Rope Review. It airs on Sundays on the Podcast Detroit Network. Really quickly, tell us a little bit about your show, and then let's dive into WrestleMania.
Well, we're the longest running pro wrestling podcast in Michigan. And we're kind of a pro wrestling podcast until we're not. You know, we kind of like really you guys, you know, I remember listening to an episode where I don't even talk about combat sports.
Yeah, that's kind of our milieu. We are a combat, non-combat sports kind of show. We cover everything, including geek culture and nerd culture.
Baseball.
Baseball, yeah, that too. Yeah.
We do a little bit of stuff on, but we'll have wrestlers on, and you know, when we have wrestlers on, we have to talk about anything that's not wrestling. So you know, these guys go on and do podcasts. Oh, who are your inspirations? How do you go through the business? Or we got to talk to them about some stuff that's not, you know, different areas than everybody else does.
Yeah.
We have guys come on and talk about juggalo guys, and talk about tips for business. You know, you never know what you're going to get in on Sunday.
Is it real or fake? I have to know.
Predetermined. I like that. God's will determines what happens. So, big week. It is finally here, WrestleMania week. Ronda Rousey makes her official debut, even though she's been doing these getting thrown through tables, these shoot things, these interviews in the ring. How big is this? And I'm gonna guess, if I had to bet my house on it, Kurt Angle and Ronda Rousey win.
Well, I don't think you guys would ever want to bet on her and bring her in absolutely the first match. But I mean, it's a pretty big thing. Anytime they can bring in someone from outside of wrestling, you know, with that crossover feel, it's pretty huge. It's a big risk to have someone do their first match ever on the biggest stage you can. So it's going to be really interesting.
Now, we talked about this briefly, but let's talk about it again. You know, Cody is a member of the UFC community right now. He fights for UFC. To us that cover real combat sports and predetermined combat sports, we didn't feel Ronda Rousey anymore. We thought she was really exposed. What are they doing storyline-wise to make her kind of badass again? And to tell you the truth, when I've been watching, and I've been watching a lot more wrestling, her facial expressions are kind of annoying. I'll be honest. I'm not buying into it yet. I've given her a fair shot, I think. But, you know, I know she's learning on the job, but tell us what they're doing to make her seem like a badass when the rest of the world that is not from the wrestling community knows that she was very exposed and, you know, not that dangerous of a woman.
Well, because it's sports entertainment and not real combat sports, you know, when you lost, you don't nearly as much as they do in the UFC. And you know, like, so they'll talk about, like, Bill Goldberg or something like that, and they'll say, oh, he was in the NFL. They won't tell you that he, like, wasn't nobody in the NFL. They just tell you that he was in the NFL. Like, so for Ronda, they talk about his call her the baddest woman on the planet, which is true, and they talk about how she was champ, which, they just kind of, they give you the highlights that matter, but because wins and losses don't matter as much, the crowd kind of, it's not, we're already becoming a disbelief on a lot of other stuff, like undead zombies, all this other things, stuff, to overlook that, Ronda's win losses.
Yeah. What else is happening in WrestleMania? I know a lot of good storylines are out there, but the big one from a distance is this is the first time that The Rock and I believe The Undertaker will not be a part of it. Who are you looking to step up in now that John Cena especially isn't as big of a star? Who are you looking to step up and probably be that guy to carry us into the next year?
Well, one, the rumors that have it that Undertaker and The Rock will both be there in some capacity. Brock Lesnar's on his way out to supposedly coming back to your neck of the woods.
We don't want him though.
No, you should keep him.
Cody will give you five quick words of why he doesn't want Brock Lesnar in the UFC.
He's on steroids.
He's on steroids. He'll give you 3 or 4 words.
Timing's hard.
Yeah.
Well, I know Cody's not a big fan of WWE, but Brock Lesnar is someone we could definitely agree on his side. I think he's one of the worst things that ever happened in WWE. At all.
So. No, I was going to say, so who's going to step up? Because Braun Strowman, I think they kind of misused him for this WrestleMania because he seems to be over already. And I think they should have used him in a better capacity than the storyline he's in. But they are searching for their next superstar because it looks like John Cena's on his way out, too.
Yeah, well, so you already have Roman Reigns starting his coronation.
But fans haven't adapted to him yet. It's a mixed emotions out there.
Yeah, I think at some point they're going to flip the switch and, they'll either give up on him and go with somebody else, or they'll figure out what the right thing to do with him, and then, I'm hoping they'll turn him heel and then, use those moves to make more money with him, but, Asuka is going to Charlotte Flair, Undefeated, so that's
Flair's losing.
right now.
Yep.
And then Daniel Bryan coming back off of, he retired 2 years ago. He got just scared, and they learned something in the match. And I was actually earlier to say that him being years of wrestling in the back, that's going to be ticket sales for WrestleMania.
What's so special about Daniel Bryan? Because from a distance, he looks like a redneck with a beard and a flannel. Like, I mean, the way he dresses. What endures him to a wrestling fan? Like, I mean, he doesn't have that typical.
I think you just said it.
No,
I can relate to him.
Yeah, I'm being honest because like he doesn't have the typical appeal that a star does, but people love Daniel Bryan. Well, what is it? His connection with the WWE universe?
Well, he's definitely not a redneck. He won't be his mouth, but he's definitely that kid. He's the everyman. He's the one that people can relate to. And his on-set stuff kind of comes through when he's performing. And he's obviously his in-ring work is solid.
All right, so I'm going to give you some names, and I want you to give me on the way out of WrestleMania. They're going to be a bigger star, or the storyline's going in their favor, or they're I don't want to say the curtain's going down on them, but going to take a different route. We're going to start off with Alexis Bliss really quickly. On paper, it would look like a fight she can't win. But she's so popular. Where do you think she leaves WrestleMania?
Well, I think I think he loses because they're going to want to keep this Alexa Bliss, Nia Jax feud going. And I think if she wins and retains in their first matchup, the feud's dead right there. Unless the only way I see her going over is, but otherwise, I think it's pretty good bet that Nia Jax wins.
All right, let's talk a little bit about Brock Lesnar. Are they going to let him go out on top because this might be the last match, or do you think Brock, just because what we know about Brock from what other people say, do you think he even allows Vince McMahon and the WWE to write him off like that?
I don't think he has much creative control, and he has really that. But I think the one person with the biggest skill is that. I think if he's trying to go to business for himself and something else happens, I think he's giving her, with Bret Hart for himself, and if he came out and threw him, I think Brock was on back, but that's the game. Instead of just finally put the title on Roman and finally have Brock. No one's doing Brock like years.
Now, I have to admit, I saw a press release that came on my desk. This thing's supposed to be 5 hours. That's a little too long. Even for a wrestling fan, do you think 5 hours, a WrestleMania event, that's too long?
Yeah, it was just exhausting. We were all exhausted last year. It was really long. So I think the main card starts at 7, and there's like a 2-hour pre-show before that. I'm under the impression that the Undefeated down with that will have 14 matches, which is just kind of too much.
Is that counting the 2 Battle Royals? Because you got the Fabulous Moolah Battle Royal and the Andre the Giant Battle Royal, too.
Yeah, it's counting those as well.
Jeez, that's a lot of fighting, man. So Cody, he admits he's not a huge wrestling fan. I can look at Anthony Barnes.
I don't understand it.
Dude, you gotta go to one live.
I never got into it.
Gotta go to one live, and that'll change you, man.
So it's one of those things. I believe if I went to one, I'd think it was cool.
I think the thing that you gotta realize is it has more in common with theater or regular
soap operas.
If you go in there thinking it's a show and that it's not trying to be real fighting, that helps.
Yeah, there's like a whole storyline behind it. Like I said, I never got into it, so like you guys are speaking a foreign language. I don't know anyone's names. It's so much easier to like something when you can relate to it, and I just don't, you know what I mean? I don't know anything about it, so it's hard for me to like kind of understand, what's going on.
Now, lastly, though, to convince Cody, there are some WrestleMania drinking games out there. Can you refer to some of the things that will happen on Sunday that requires you to take a shot?
Oh man.
Okay.
Sorry, I bugged you.
I've seen 7 different versions of WrestleMania drinking games over a 5-hour span where you would get drunk. But I didn't know if you knew of any.
If you go watch anything for 5 hours, you're gonna get drunk.
I didn't know if you knew of any.
It's not a game anymore. I can't even. 3 hours, I'd be pretty shit-faced.
Drink for 5 hours.
What are some of the things that happen that require a shot, or something that we know will happen in WrestleMania that should be worthy of taking a shot when it happens?
Well, obviously, enough, that's an easy one. You have 2 over-the-top episodes when you have to be eliminated.
Oh my God, that's alcohol poisoning.
Anytime Michael Cole says something that's vintage, he'll say, vintage AJ Styles, something like that. I don't know. It's hard. I don't even know if I want to. It's so long, I don't even know if I want to touch the track.
Right, you should be doing shots of Red Bull to make it to the end of the night.
Sounds super lit.
Yeah, well, we want to thank you for coming in here and sharing your WrestleMania thoughts with us. And I'm actually going to watch it Sunday night and have some thoughts on it. But I thought it's been overall a pretty good year for wrestling. I thought some of the storylines were great. I'm excited for Brock Lesnar to get out of this thing and try to see where WWE takes us.
I got one question for you, Josh, and this is kind of not really related. Have you ever heard of a YouTube show called The Hot Ones? So they eat chicken wings with the hot sauces. There are 2 episodes, one with Chris Jericho, one with Sasha Banks. Highly recommend that you watch both of them. Banks puts Jericho to shame. I'm just saying. Yeah, but anyways, if you haven't checked them out, check it out. It's actually pretty funny.
Now, I know you're, really quickly, I know you're going to be in Chicago. Is there a Top Rope review show, pre-show for WrestleMania, or are you guys just going to cover it the following week? I know you're rushing back from Chicago to get back here.
There's no way that we cannot broadcast on WrestleMania. So, Tabitha and I will be in Chicago, but Jacob might be in the show. He'll be doing the show. And actually, this week we're not at 4. We're going to be at 3 o'clock. Report for the 45 because of WrestleMania. So that way we have to record the broadcast and set up the event. And I'll probably call you so I can ride the train back.
All right. Well, you take care. Give a shout out where people can find you on Facebook, Top Rope Review.
Yeah, we're Top Rope Review on all social media, Twitter and Instagram and Facebook, and then we also have everything on the website at topropereview.com.
All right. You take care, Josh. Enjoy your trip in Chicago, the best town in the freaking world. And then have a good, happy WrestleMania or happy Rusev Day, as wrestling fans would know. And I will talk to you soon.
Yeah, happy anniversary.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. Well, really quickly, one song break. On the other side, Eric Deleon. Stick around for it. One of the best boxers in the world currently. Back. All right, we are going to none other than undefeated boxer Eric Deleon. Gonna call him up right now.
You were terrible at those segues.
I know. I didn't say I was good at them. Never said I was good at them. This is a C+ show with when I'm running it.
It's passing.
Hey, Eric, you're live on the Undercard. How are you?
Good, how you doing?
Good. We are joined by Eric Deleon, undefeated from Detroit, Michigan, and making us super proud. How you doing, buddy?
Good. Thanks for having me.
All right, we got to start with a little bit of a sore wound here really quickly. We got to go over your last fight. I'll be honest, really quickly, against Andy Venus, right? Or
Vences?
Yeah, Vences. I had you winning. I thought it was close through 5, and then the next 5, I had you pulling away. It comes back a draw, but doesn't hurt your career or anything, and you look like you belong with A-list talent, so it's a win. Did you kind of feel that way, that there was no way you were going to lose in this case because it was a draw against A-plus opponent, and some people that watch it had you winning anyways?
Correct, yeah. Well, at first, I felt a little bit upset because obviously I wanted to bring them belts back home and to all my people, all my family and friends. And I trained really hard for the fight, but no, like you said, afterwards I talked to my team and everyone, and they made me feel better about it, obviously. But yeah, like you said, I had myself winning. I felt like I did a little bit more than him. I did enough to pull the W. I mean, I closed strong, I finished strong, and I felt great. I finished 10 rounds good. I felt like overall, I mean, he did his thing, but I was the one that was the aggressor. I was looking shots, blocking, and every time he would hit me, I would hit him with 2 or 3 shots. So bigger shots, power punches. So I thought I did enough, but I don't know, the judges draw for some reason.
I thought we'd see Andy a little bit more aggressive. That was the MO of him coming in. You guys were both undefeated, but I thought you were the one throwing the power punches, backing him up in the later rounds. You never know what the judges see because they're all seeing it from different angles. But was there a point during the 7th or 8th round where you thought, I am pulling ahead? I mean, you never want to think that in a fight, but could you see a little shift even though it came back a draw?
Yes, in the 8th round, I went back to the corner and I felt my rhythm. I had found my rhythm. Like you said, I was throwing bigger shots. I thought he was going to come and fight a little bit more. But no, he didn't. I mean, he did all that talking. And leading up to the fight, I kept, my composure. I was cool. I was focused on my fight. I didn't have to do anything that he was saying. And during the fight, like I said, in the 8th round, I felt like I was leading up to the victory. I was doing work. And I thought, in the 9th and the 10th, I finished strong as well. So I thought I had done enough, but the judges, I guess, made it a draw.
Now, I got to back you up here. I got to take you in a time machine. You said that you kept your cool during the talk. I watched your weigh-in. I don't know what Andy said to you. Yeah, besides that, that's an Eric Deleon that I have not seen before. He said something to you. It clearly made you upset. I don't think I've ever seen you lose your cool. Can you explain what happened there? And after something like that happens, because you're on such a high level, how do you go back to refocusing where it's not an anger fight, but you just get back to the basics?
Right. Real quick, I don't make it short and simple. I mean, like I said, I go back to me being cool about it, staying focused all during training camp while he was running his mouth, saying he was going to do this, he was going to do that. I was just ignoring them basically, but yeah, at weigh-in, the day before weigh-in, it was starting to, get heated up, and then we had a press conference, and we see each other face to face, and they do the turned to the side, do the pictures. Well, I was the first one to turn to the side and said, all right, that's enough. Look over here this way for pictures. I was the first one, obviously, to look. I'm not going to stare at my opponent for a minute. Like, I'm not going to look at you all day. Well, there's no need for that when they tell you look to the side. So I did as that's what they told me. They took a picture of me turning away. So that's what got me. They went live on the picture. They told me they said that, oh, you know, well, I don't know, whatever they have said. I don't care. Some people were saying like, oh yeah, and like they just put it out there. So I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna show you basically, whenever that I'm not coming to play. I'm gonna come and do my job. Like I'm ready. So I made weight, and I got right for his face, and I told him like I'm gonna go to work. I'm gonna knock you out tomorrow. You better stay there, and then we're just going back and forth.
Well, you're 17-0, one draw. Like I said, that draw doesn't hurt you at all. The most impressive thing about you, Eric, and we welcome you on the undercard. Obviously, you're always welcome here. You represent Detroit good. Anthony Barnes is in the house, too. I know you're good friends with Anthony. A lot of times, a good amateur doesn't transition into a good professional, but things we saw here in Detroit, you put on a national level just a couple weeks ago, and it shows that you belong with the big boys, and if not, you are the big boy. What is the big transition between amateur and pro? Why were you able to do it well, and what is that change?
One of the main things is to be basically myself, as a fighter. Every fighter knows when we're in the ring, it's just us, it's ourselves. I think overall, it's my motivation and my drive that I have, besides the trainers or the training and the tournaments and all that, basically it's just me. Since I was young, I always envisioned something where I wanted to be, like having big fights or being on TV and working all the way to the top. Eventually for a world title shot. So I'm very happy. It's not easy. It hasn't been easy at all. I mean, I had a lot of things to overcome, a lot of obstacles, adversity. I mean, I had a lot of ups and downs with injuries, trainers, and then stuff like that. But overall, just my motivation. My self-motivation is being focused and just trying, working hard, never giving up. That's basically it.
Now, we wanted to also congratulate you. Rochelle, you had a congratulations for him. You want to give it?
Congratulations, Daddy.
Yeah, you're going to be a dad, a father. We saw you posted that.
E-daddy. No more e-money, e-daddy.
Appreciate that. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm very excited and motivated. Like I had said before, it's a really big blessing for me, and I'm very excited. I can't wait. I had found out halfway through training camp. I found out, and that just made me push harder every day. I would wake up. I didn't tell no one, and I didn't tell no one. It was hard for me to keep it to myself. But during the fight, actually, I was thinking about that, and that's later in the round. And then in the corner, they're like, give me one more round like that. You're doing good. Keep it up. Keep working hard. Keep pushing. Keep putting pressure. And that woke me up. But when I was thinking about it, like, oh, we got little East coming. Well, I'm not sure if he's gonna be a boy or a girl yet, but that was just another drive for me to finish strong. And overall, in life, work harder. I'm very excited and happy that I got a baby on the way.
Now, I can't think of a boxer in around this area that I'd rather wear on a shirt right now. No offense, Anthony Barnes, but
No,
you have
inactive. Come on. Now.
you have a shirt line out. Not only that, it's super sharp. Tell us a little bit about this. Where people can get your merchandise and follow your career, because you're one of the good guys out there. They should be rooting for you.
Thank you. Yes, basically, it's a guy from LA who makes who makes t-shirts. They got a brand. It's all on my social media. They can follow me on Instagram at Team Deleon1. You can buy them on fitwarriorapparel.com. And they're actually very nice. They're neat. I like them. They got different ones. They got hoodies, they got t-shirts, sweatshirts, Team Deleon on them, I believe with the lion. Everyone should check them out. I mean, they're good prices and they're really good quality t-shirts, hoodies, everything. I also got a new one that I told them to make for Tiger's colors. It's made in Detroit in honor of the great man who made it in Detroit. It's Eric Deleon on the bottom. So yeah, everyone should definitely check them out. They're really nice t-shirts, and I'm very excited to team up with Fit Warriors from LA. All you gotta do is order them online, and they'll send them right to you.
Yeah, we'll post the link tomorrow on our show, and it's like I said, it's a shirt that you want to own. Eric, you belong with the big boys. We knew that. Anthony Barnes has known that for a long time. He was your roommate at Nationals. You're making us super proud. I know you're not in town right now, but when you do come in town, we want to have you in the studio. But we want to congratulate you. Like I said, that draw, no worries, man. Everything's still bright, and you showed that you belong there. Not only you belong there, you are there. And like I said, I had you win in the fight, and I do pride myself in the ability to separate myself from emotion. I really did think that you were pulling away at the end. I was sitting next to Frank Garza. We were out of town actually, and Garza, I think, had you pulling away too. We knew it was close in the beginning, but you were able to figure them out and continue on. So Eric, thank you so much for making Detroit proud.
Oh, real quick, Eric, if you have a boy, it's gonna be Eric Jr.
I was thinking about that actually, but I think if it's that's what I want. I want a little boy. I think if I do have a boy, I'll probably name him Lorenzo.
Oh, okay, cool.
Very cool.
I don't know.
Not after me. I don't know. I still gotta figure it out. I should find out in a few weeks, but I appreciate you guys. AP, keep working hard. Can't wait to see you. I know you're
Thank
doing
you.
great.
Appreciate it.
Ready. I know you're excited. I know you can't wait to come back.
Yeah,
But I'm
most
pretty sure, and I know myself, I'm motivated. I'm more than happy and excited to be back in training, and I can't wait to bring a title back to Detroit.
All right.
Awesome.
Thank you so much. That is Eric Deleon. I want to thank you for your time, and we'll talk to you soon. We'll have you in the studio soon.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
All right. Eric Deleon, currently the cream of the crop from the Michigan area, and he's going to be bringing others behind him, though.
Yeah, he's ready for HBO.
Oh, he's
100%.
dude, exciting, and didn't even dude. That's the first time I ever seen him lose his cool. There was weigh-ins, and I was curious what he said.
Usually,
Like,
if he has something to say, it's like in the in private. You know what I mean? Like
it had to be good because Eric went from like 0 to 60 in like a Tesla
he was
in
ready.
4.2
He
seconds.
was
Yeah.
ready. Like you're not anxiety, but you're super anxious. You know, just like just anticipation, really. You know, like for the fight, and it's like. You're ready, you know. It's like, let's just do it now, you know. Whatever.
That's freaking awesome, and it's a good moment to mention. April 13th through 14th through 15th, the Metro Detroit Golden Gloves is going on at Burt's Warehouse. $10 advance tickets. Come out and support the youth. But if you want to go, I guess a perfect weekend would be. Go check out Anthony Barnes fighting pro at April 13th at the Soundboard.
My lucky day.
Right, and then go check out the amateurs on the 14th and 15th and see how the tournament ends. That would be an ultimate boxing weekend down in the D. It'd be a lot of fun.
I'll be there Sunday.
Yeah.
For Sunday, I give away my my trophy,
which is the novice trophy.
Yeah, the novice, kind of like the fighter of the tournament novice division. It's called the Silver Trophy. So definitely giving that out again this year.
Lots of history with the silver
Lot-
trophy.
lot-
Talk about the history of the silver trophy.
Oh my God, I'm on the spot.
Joe Louis won it, right?
Yeah, Joe Louis won it. And so I guess the story behind the trophy is whatever novice fighter won that trophy, that meant they were going to be somebody someday. So, in the sport of boxing. So, I think I've given out twice so far, and I think every person that won it thus far has either won nationals or what have you. So, I think it's getting there. It's getting there.
No, it's
I think
great.
It's true.
I love that you do a trophy. Tony Harrison does a trophy. I like the accolades. These people deserve it, and amateur boxing isn't where it was when Emmanuel was around. We know that, but you got enough people working in the right direction, and it'll get there again, and that's the future.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, it's like anything else, up and down. But right now we have a lot of fighters in Detroit, a lot of pros. And, just because there's a lot of pros, it means it's going to be more amateurs, people just watching and wanting to do what they do. So it's going to pick up again, definitely. So we'll have to see what happens this year at the Golden Gloves, but I'm excited for it.
Anthony Barnes, it is AnthonyBarnesBoxing.com.
Yeah.
And you can get your shirts are on there too, right?
I think so.
They used to be. Yeah, I think they still are. Yeah. And actually, your shirt is an amazing design too. But the Eric Deleon shirt is cool too.
Yeah. Listen.
I wear your shirt everywhere.
See, this is the thing. It's like I have like the Kronk Boxing, traditional like training camp shirt, which is pretty cool.
Your dad gave me that.
A lot of people want those, just because it is, the gym and stuff. People like my T-shirts, my black ones with AB on front, because it's like, they're like pre-shrunk and, they're just nice. So people wear those out. But Eric Deleon, that's the man right now. You know what I mean? So, I mean, he's a man. I mean, he has a painting, he has a mural in Southwest Detroit on the side of like a bridge.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, that's super cool.
Yep.
So, he's the next one. He's getting the title next. Period.
And the great thing about that is that brings up the next amount of talent. We did a tradition that happens every year anniversary as we give away the Miss Undercard Award. This year it goes to Liz Perez. Liz Perez worked for us for 2 years, took some time off, and then came back and now has worked a year for us. So she is the official winner of the Miss Undercard.
Why is she not here?
I don't know.
She can't be Miss Undercard.
No, she's Miss Undercard. She celebrated.
No, you can't accept the award if you're not here.
I came to accept it on her behalf.
Oh, okay, I see.
But she is officially the Miss Undercard, and hopefully she is listening and she knows about it. If not, I'll message her quickly. We had such a big show that I couldn't get to it, but it's been a great 5 years. I want to thank Rochelle. I want to thank Jimmy. I want to thank our new co-host, Cody, for probably giving us some, I don't know, some that and adrenaline to continue on.
Yeah.
We needed that.
Injection.
Anthony Barnes for always being Anthony Barnes, AB, and just helping out. We got wrapped it up, but like Jimmy said, who knows? Another 5 years, who knows?
Who knows?
We're working on year 6.
This first 5 went by like that, so it did.
So then,
it really did.
So then, they better come out and support me.
Right.
That's the most important thing.
Really quickly again, April 13th, it's happening at the Soundboard. Tickets are available at Ticketmaster.com. I talked to Carlos, the promoter. There is less than 200 tickets available to see Anthony Barnes. Winford Harris is the main event. Also another talented guy, hot boy. So get your tickets. We'll see everybody next week. Take care. Thanks for coming in, man.
Yeah, no problem. I was on my way out, and not